Hello everybody, welcome back to the Roblox tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you the very basics of scripting inside of Roblox. This tutorial is for complete beginners who have never scripted before. If you haven't seen my last episode, make sure you do. I go over the basics on how to use Studio and navigation, that kind of stuff. If you have, that's great. So, without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. So the first thing we'll be doing is inserting a script. So all you need to do is just right-click on Workspace, insert an object, and script. Now, as you see, there's a line, print hello world. Now what that does is displays the text hello world with an exclamation mark on the output window. Now if you don't know how to display the output window, all you need to do is just click on View and then Output Window. So let me show you what that line does. So over here, hello world got displayed by this script over here. Now let me just show you how to do a print statement so you know how to do it yourself, because I think it's important. So all you need to do is just write print in parentheses, in quotes, hello world, or anything that you want to put on. Let's just say welcome to my YouTube channel. So anything between the quotes are going to get displayed on the output window. And another thing you can do is delay the timing. You can delay the timing between these two print statements. So in order to do that, you can just do wait, simple, and then however long you want to wait in seconds. So if I wait, for example, 3, it will wait 3 seconds. So this means line 5 will get executed 3 seconds after line 1. So as you see, welcome to my YouTube channel didn't get displayed immediately like hello world did. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is learning how to reference objects. But before we do, something really important before we do is understanding what parent and child is. So just to give you an example, everything that I highlighted here is a child of workspace. So workspace is basically the parent of these objects here. So not everything inside the game is going to be a child of workspace. For example, starter player, we have these two folder types. These are children of starter player, and starter player is basically the parent of those two. Just like workspace is the parent of all of these objects here, and I can hide them or show them. So let's say we want to reference KnightBlox, the part named KnightBlox, which I named in my first video. So all we need to do is just click on Script, make a variable. We can name it anything we want. Let's say we want to do it P equals workspace.KnightBlox. So this is so if you don't know how to reference an object, all you do is just write the variable name. It can be anything you want. I just did P and then equals workspace.KnightBlox. That is the actual object itself. And if you don't know, workspace gets written first because it's the parent of KnightBlox. So that is something that's something you really need to understand when it comes to scripting. If we want to reference, I don't know, base plate, we can do that too. Write anything we want. B equals workspace.baseplate, because like I said, just like KnightBlox, baseplate is a child of workspace. So the parent gets written first, and then the child. So that's something you absolutely have to understand when it comes to referencing objects. So now we are going to reference the parent. We're going to be referencing the workspace. So there's something called script.parent. So script.parent is a line where the actual script itself references its own parent. So let me just do like W for workspace. W equals script, the actual script itself, the one we're using is script.parent. It's kind of flip-flopped because the script is the child and the parent is the parent of the workspace. It's actually, I think, a property. So let me just check. So yeah, I think, yeah, parent is a property that stores workspace, which is script's parent. So let's say we want to print these variables. So unlike the text that we're printing, we're not going to be using quotes. I'll go more in depth in a little bit, but basically what we're going to be doing is printing the three variables. So we're going to print P, print B, and print W. And you have to get the syntax right because it is case sensitive. So as you see, we have some more stuff here. So KnightBlox is the P variable. P stores KnightBlox, which is an object variable. B is also an object variable which stores the base plate, the actual base plate itself. And then workspace is another object variable which stores workspace. And as you see, that it doesn't print workspace.KnightBlox, but workspace.KnightBlox is how you reference it when it comes to using a variable. So that is something that's really important if we want to go more advanced. So let me show you what strings, booleans, integers, and object variables are. So a string variable is a string value, or string variable is a variable which stores a string value. So let's just say we want to reference a sentence. This is just something out of my own imagination. So sentence would be a string variable. So welcome to this tutorial. So I think what that will do is let me just test it out real quick, because I might have to put in parentheses. But yeah, so sentence is a string variable because it stores a string value. Welcome to this tutorial. If you want to make a string variable, what you'll need to do is make a variable or reference, put an equal sign, and in quotes whatever you want to write. Now let's print the sentence and see what we get. I hope we're not going to get an error. Oh, look, we didn't. Good. So over here, let me just zoom in so you guys can see. Welcome to this tutorial here is printed by line 15. Sentence stores welcome to this tutorial, the string. So the next kind of variable, or next kind of variable is an integer variable. Now an integer variable stores numbers. So let's just make a variable count equals, let's say, 5. Now an integer variable is like what I said before. It's just numbers. So let's now print count over here. Let's just zoom in so you guys can see. So as you see, we have a number, which is 5, and that got executed executed by line 18, which prints count, because count stores a integer value, which is 5. An integer variable is a number which can be 1, 10, 15, 100, 1,000, etc., either positive or negative. So it does involve some math, so that might be hard to understand for younger audience. So, all right. So the next kind of variable is a Boolean variable. Now, a Boolean variable, or a Boolean, is true or false. So let me just give you an example of something like that. So let's just make a variable switched equals true. Switched stores the Boolean value true. So let's just print switched real quick. I want to show you what switch does. So let's see. Yep, true. So we see there's the value true. So that's the Boolean value. So switched stores true. Now there's the next kind of variable, which is next kind of Boolean, which is false. So now switched is false. And the final kind of variable that we are going to be learning today is an object variable. Now, an object variable is a variable that references an object. Let me tell you this: variables and values are different. Variables is something which stores which stores a value. A value itself is its own value. So there can be so let's just recap. There's a string value which is surrounded by quotes. There is an integer value which is a number, a Boolean value which is true or false, and an object value which is just an object. Okay, so now we're going to be paying attention to integer values. So integers, we can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So this is something that's called arithmetic, where we change an integer's value. So let's just say, so I have print count here. So line 20 is going to print 5 on the output window. Now let's do some arithmetic here. So the way you add a number or add an integer value is you do the variable equals the variable, which is count, plus whatever you want to add it by. So what this does is add count by 1. So if we print count, we expect count to be 6 instead of 5 because it's adding itself by 1. Yes, so here, so count on line 20 printed out 5. Count on line 25 printed out 6. So we can. I'm going to show you another example. So if we add count by 3. We add count by 3. It's going to be 8. So that basically just adds. It's just math, guys. It's arithmetic. So that's how you That's how you add, subtract, multiply, and divide. And the same thing for subtracting. So it's just a minus instead of a plus. As you see, it's now 3 instead of 5. We can also do other operations such as multiply. So we are basically multiplying count. Multiplying, if you don't know, it's different than adding. So 5. So originally count was 5. If we multiplied by 3, we should expect it to be 15. So, yep, now it's 15 because 5 times 3 equals 15. And the same thing for divide. Let's just see. I think the divide is the slash symbol, so we can divide it by 2. So we should expect it to get 2.5, which is a decimal. So you can only do that with an integer value. If you tried to do it with a string value, a Boolean value, an object value, it will give you an error because only numbers in the world where you can add. So say you can't do this kind of stuff with strings, booleans, and objects. So let me show you some examples of properties. What kind of properties there are. So let me just find a good one. Oh yes. So material. Actually, no. Reflectance is an integer value because it stores 0.5. Now I'm not sure whether. Now I'm not sure. I don't think material is ice because I think the way you reference it is, I'm not sure if it's ice or not, guys, but I'm not sure if it's a string, but let me just find some examples. Oh yeah, name, as you see, name is a string value. In fact, if you go to Object Browser now, Object Browser is a tool that allows you to find different objects and what kind of values they store. So if you want to display Object Browser, all you need to do is just click on View and Object Browser, which should be here. Yeah, so it should be here. So all you need to do, if you want to see what kind of values these properties are, you just find the object and find their properties. But I'll probably go more in depth a little bit later. So that's just the basics of it. So yeah, and the final thing I want to show you is how to comment out lines. So in order to comment out lines, all you need to do is just put 2 dashes before the code. So what that did is comment out the line, so that just made it green. So this is useful if you want to deactivate or make or disable some lines of code. So commented lines won't get executed by the script. So this is useful if you do not want to delete the code altogether, but you do not want it to be active while having the rest of the script be active. So you can try that out if you want. So anyway, guys, this is the end of the video. Hopefully this was helpful for you. I'll figure out what my next video shall be about. But yeah, so I guess I'll see you later, guys. Bye.